Nisha here from Englishfirm. Today is the first video of our new series, Study and Practice with Englishfirm, where in the first part, I'll explain how a task is done, and in the next part is for you to practice around 20 to 50 questions of every item of PTE. Starting with the most important one, Write From Dictation today. This is the second highest scoring item in the whole test, carrying 32 marks, and out of which 22 is given to writing and around 10 is given to your listening module. So if you look at it, this is an item that comes under the listening module. It is the last question in the whole test. However, it impacts your writing more than your listening module, which means this question alone can decide whether you get your desired score in your writing module. So what you do in this task essentially is, you will hear an audio which is just one sentence. It could be anywhere between 7 to 14 words long, and all you have to do is type the words of the sentence exactly as it is on the screen provided. Now, few mistakes that many students make here. First and foremost, relying completely on your memory rather than taking notes. What I've noticed these days is, not just the students, including me, we rely so much on technology, because of which our memory skills are not as strong as before. So I'm sure you are hearing all the words. We hear all the words when the audio is played, but within few seconds, we immediately forget half of it or even more. Which is why it's always a great idea to take down notes, as they provide you with a notebook and pen in the exam. And even when you take down notes, do not try to write the whole sentence or the correct spelling on your notes. The notes are just for you to recollect your memory. So even if you get the spelling wrong on your notes, it's all right. Because if you worry about getting the spelling right while you take down the notes, you will still forget the remaining part of the words. So learn to take short notes. What I recommend here is, when you listen to the audio, note down the first letter of every word vertically, not horizontally, vertically. There is a reason, because if you write it vertically, it's less confusing and you have more space on the right side to add the remaining part of the word later. So while you listen to the audio, focus on the meaning of the sentence, note down the initials of the word, and as soon as the audio is over, add a little bit more of the word, because even after a few seconds, you may not remember what the letter was for. So it's good to add a little bit more of the words. I'll show you how to take down notes while we do one task together. And the second mistake that students make after typing it in, not proofreading. So you might know good spellings, you're good with spellings, you're good with vocabulary, but when you type, there could be mistakes. So do not just type and move on. Check your spelling, check the spacing. If you forget to space two words, it'll look like a single word to the computer and you could be losing 2 marks for both of those words. So in between every word, leave a space, start with a capital letter, end with a full stop. And the most common question and the most confusing question for many students, can you write extra words in Write From Dictation? 100% yes, because we have got students who got 90 in listening and writing by writing extra words. So this is an advantage of PTE. According to the scoring criteria, the computer gives you 1 mark for each word. There is no negative marking for wrong words. So in cases where you're confused about the spelling of a word or the word form, for example, you don't know if there's a flower or flowers, just write both. And if you're not sure if the spelling of receive is R-E-C-E-I-V-E or C-I-E-V-E, write both. So these are the few things to keep in mind. So before you start practicing, make sure you have a notebook and pen ready. Also, make sure you have a notebook and pen separately only for your spellings, because another common mistake that I notice among students these days is a lot of spelling mistakes. Again, I would blame technology and mobile phones, because all these mobile phones, Grammarly, your laptop, they always help you autocorrect your spellings, which is not the case in the exam. You don't have autocorrect or spell check. You need to write the spelling on your own, and many students tend to make a lot of spelling mistakes, and because of which they're losing a lot of marks in listening and writing. So make sure to take a note of the words words that you make a spelling mistake on, and revise those words every single day. So after you write your answer, pause and voice the answer with the words, with the spelling, and whichever spellings you made wrong, make sure you make a note of it in your spellings notebook in the other one. So that's pretty much it, guys. So let's start with practicing. You will be practicing 50 questions with me today, and best of luck.
Animal behavior appears to contain both similar and distinct aspects to that of humans. Students should take their time to study. The lecture scheduled for the third day will cover essential course materials. The library provides access to thousands of academic journals. Students are encouraged to submit assignments before the deadline. Water consumption plays a crucial role in maintaining a healthy body. The new research project requires additional funding support. Mathematics is the foundation of most scientific disciplines. Group discussions can improve students' critical thinking skills. The professor will upload lecture slides on the student portal. Proper time management helps in reducing academic stress. The campus cafeteria offers a wide variety of meals. Effective communication is a vital skill in the workplace. Students must wear their ID cards inside the examination hall. The experiment showed unexpected but significant results. Tutors are available to provide academic assistance throughout the year. The lecture theatre is equipped with modern audiovisual facilities. New technologies are transforming the way businesses operate. The results of the survey were published in a leading journal. The course will introduce students to basic programming concepts. Medical research has greatly advanced over the past few decades. A balanced diet is necessary for maintaining physical fitness. International students should attend the orientation session. The deadline for the essay submission has been extended. The government has introduced new policies to support education. The conference attracted scholars from various disciplines. Teamwork enhances problem-solving abilities and creativity. The exam results will be released at the end of the semester. All assignments must be submitted through the online portal. The library is closed on public holidays and weekends. The lecture highlighted the impact of climate change on agriculture. Students must ensure they back up their research data regularly. The professor encouraged students to read beyond the textbook. Participation in extracurricular activities improves social skills. The study suggests a strong connection between diet and memory. The university will host a career fair next month. Every student should check the notice board for updates. Practical experience is as important as theoretical knowledge. Lecturers expect students to attend all scheduled classes. The new building will accommodate more lecture halls and labs. Financial aid is available for students who meet the criteria. The workshop provided useful insights into research methods. The results of the experiment confirmed the initial hypothesis. Students should proofread their essays before submission. Scientific discoveries have changed the way we live today. Attendance at tutorials is mandatory for all first-year students. The assignment must be submitted in both print and digital form. More physical activity is beneficial to your health. The needs of the nation determine a person's achievements. Astrology is not an ideal science in poor rural areas due to limited evidence.